Hello and welcome to another episode of MoFIT Talks, episode number 13. And today, as the new year is approaching, wish everyone a happy new year. Hopefully, 2019 will be better than 2018. And if you have any fitness goal, because good things usually people always start in January, so I'm going to give you a head start or maybe even some tips on how you can sort of reach to your goal with some simple steps, baby steps, so to speak. So that you can reach towards your goal in a more efficient and who knows in a proper manner. Alright. So the good news is what I'm going to share later. Whether you are trying to lose weight, lose fat, or your goal is to build muscle, I got that cover for you. So example, if you are from a fat person, you want to become a slimmer person, or vice versa, if you're someone from a skinny kid, you want to become a bit more muscle, a bit bigger size. I'm going to cover both of this for you. Okay. So, I'm going to put this in angle. So, new year, new goal, right? So, if your goal is for fat loss, this is especially one for you. So, we're going to break down into four topics, four major aspects. This is what make or breaks the goal. I think I've said in previous posts. Training, your nutrition, your recovery, and last but not least, the mindset of how you're handling things. So, I want to go each one of them. So, all of them is not in any important sequence, but rather it is, just all these factors you want to take into consideration to make your goal to reach your goal a bit faster. Yeah. So for training, okay, just going to tune it. Just give me a while. Okay. So for training, you want to make sure that there's 80% of your exercises are weight training. You know, whether it's doing some squats or some leg presses or some bench press or some dumbbell works, some machines. Okay, if you're a beginner, doesn't really matter what kind of weight you do, but as long as you do some weight training, and 20% should be your cardio. Okay, that is how it's quicker results for you, right? By follow this protocol. Okay, and number two is always be consistent. Now, every week, if you want to make a commitment to yourself for the at least 2-3 months, that you're just going to be a bit consistent. Make sure you do it 2 or 3 times a week. Try not to skip your workout, and if you skip, try to replace it on another day, and don't just let bygones be bygones. So the second one, on your nutrition, now reduce calories. Most people, they cut off a certain food group. Now, I'm not a huge fan of cutting down certain food group for a couple of reasons. Number one, it doesn't teach you anything, all right? And it's also hard for you to sustain this diet, because if you don't if you find yourself finding it very hard to stick to the diet, I think once you finish your fat loss goal, chances are you're going to regain all the weight because you're unable to follow what you did during this fat loss journey, right? So, reduce calories means, what I mean is by choosing healthier options. For example, if you're going to have let's say a burger, maybe having a sandwich, right? Or instead of having a soft drink, maybe go for the zero versions. Or instead of having juices, maybe you can have, also the processed juices. Maybe you can go for maybe like coffee or tea, or eat the fruit as itself. So this is what I mean by reduce the calories. And recovery, well, this is also something. Make sure you have enough sleep. Sleep, non-negotiable. If you only sleep 3 to 4 hours every day, you might want to try to bump it up, maybe 6 to 8 hours. Most people can recover very well on 6 to 8 hours. Consider like this: you recover well, then you are able to perform this well. Then you'll be better towards your goal, right? So if you're going to recover, make sure you have enough sleep and try to reduce your stress as much as possible. Now, this is easier said than done, but it's actually possible. For example, like stress. If you know that, for example, if you are every day late for work, or you're always stuck in the jam, maybe you want to avoid the jam, or maybe listen to some music or meditate. Those kind of things can help. I know easier said than done, but all this can help you a little bit along the way. And last but not least, having the mindset. Understand the good things take time. So whatever you are, if you're fat loss, let's say if you are overweight for more than 5 years, don't expect 1 or 2 months will fix the 5-year problem. Understand that it might take a year or two, or maybe a bit longer to fix the problem. And number two, always remember, last but not least, is to be consistent, because consistency is key. Alright, if let's say you take a week off in the entire year, but out of 1 year, 52 weeks, you're still getting 51 or if not 50 weeks in check. That's not too bad. In fact, it's better than, you know, don't train at all, right? So being consistent is the key. So next topic I'm going to cover up is about the muscle gain. So let's say you're someone who's skinny, you want to grow some muscle, you want to grow some size. Now first, let's go step by step from the training. Training, make sure you're weight training, right? Cardio, you keep it to as minimum as or as and when needed. But personally, if you're on a muscle gain phase, I don't think cardio is much of a priority, but rather I think you should priority on weight training. Make sure you're doing those big movements like the squat, the bench press, the deadlift, overhead press, the barbell rows, chin-ups, pull-ups, and so on, right? And don't just come and just do only bicep curls, right? And make sure when you're doing this, always have a goal, which is to be stronger over time. It doesn't have to be the weights, right? Ideally, you want the weights, but if you can't up the weights, at least try to, you know, put some effort on how you can up the reps. Let's say if last week you do 8, this week try to do 10, next week try to do 12, and so on and so forth. Or you can increase the set, you know, like last time you do 2 sets, maybe now you do 3, in future 4. So there's so many variables to play around, but the goal at the end of the day is to be stronger over time. Now, number 2, just like the fat loss phase, you want to make sure everything is consistent. Make sure you don't miss your workout, make a commitment, then that's how you're going to get your gains, alright? So being consistent, not trying to be, you don't have to be 100%, but at least be 80% on point. Example, if you tell yourself you want to train 3 to 5 times a week, or say it's 3 times a week for example, make sure you train 3 times a week. Don't train once a week, don't train, and then never train anymore. These are some mistakes that most people make. Number 2, make sure nutrition. Make sure you eat more. Just because you're skinny doesn't mean you have the license to eat everything. Okay, eating all sorts of food and you cannot grow is like driving a car, but you want to put diesel into your engine and you wonder why your car can't function efficiently. Well, food is something like that. Make sure you get some high protein food, have some more whole food. For example, don't have so much of processed food, okay, like too much of, you know, like junk foods, you know, or your snacks, chips and so on. But instead, maybe instead of low-fat milk, you know, if you're trying to gain some muscle, probably you can ditch the low-fat milk, have some full cream milk instead. Or another example, if you know you don't have to eat oats, maybe you can have some rice, or you know, some pastas, or you can even have some cornflakes. You know, those are going to help you to gain a lot of muscle and as well weight, provided with some strong progressive training. And last but not least, you want to slowly up your calories. Now, most people, when they either eat too much, few things happen. They eat a lot and suddenly boom, they become overweight or fat, right? So to avoid all this kind of problem, fat, don't get me wrong, as you gain weight, a little bit of fat goes a bit, but it shouldn't be too much fat, like it's too overwhelming, you look like an obese person, right? So what you can do here is slowly up your calories. For example, last time you eat 2,000 calories, maybe try to up 2,200. Don't straight away jump to 2,500. And start from 2,200, try to see something from there. If 200 calorie addition doesn't give you anything, no problem. Add up 2,000 to 2,400. Then you can slowly bump from there and see how it goes, right? Recovery and the mindset, actually pretty much like the fat loss. You want to make sure that you sleep enough. Again, sleep, non-negotiable, right? And number 2 is you make sure you reduce your stress, right? Make sure when you come to the gym, you work out. Don't get too stressed, or you know, whenever you're in the gym, just make sure gym is gym. Do not like bring your work problem to the gym or bring your feelings to the gym. Put that out, check it out at the door, put it aside, or your egos, and then try to do as good as you can, reduce the stress. And last but not least, just like anything, good things take time. Understand that you have been skinny for around 5 to 10 years. Chances are, don't expect you're going to be big and jacked in 5 months. It's going to be a little bit unrealistic. But what you can do is, if you tell yourself 1 year, 2 year, be consistent throughout this whole process, and you're going to see some good gains. And last but not least, as we all said, is to be consistent. Don't be perfect, be consistent. Again, even if you take 1-2 week off, if you need to, don't worry. Out of 1 year, you got 52 weeks. But if you take only like 50 weeks, you get your work done, you miss out the 2 weeks. That's not too bad. It's still 50 out of 52. That's pretty consistent, okay? What I'm trying to say here is that whether, you know, when New Year, you want to have your new goal, whether it's you want to gain muscle or you want to lose fat, is pretty much similar. The only difference is one reduce the calorie, another one increase the calories. Okay, so that's all for me today. If you have any question, feel free to drop the comment below, and I'll catch you next time. Till now, Happy New Year, happy 2019. May you reach your fitness goal, and I'll catch you next time. Stay strong, stay MoFit. Bye bye.